He threw his alarm clock across the room. Again. Said the same thing he'd said for the past 6 months. I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never shows up for people like that. His rent was overdue, his phone buzzing with ignored calls. His fridge had nothing but a bottle of ketchup and guilt. But he still sat there, scrolling, complaining, blaming everyone except the guy in the mirror. And then, the power cut out. Not a flicker, a full shutdown. The universe had had enough too. He stepped outside to find the neighbor's kid mowing lawns, sweating under. The sun, $5 a yard. Meanwhile, he was inside watching YouTube videos about how to be rich. That was the slap. No music, no motivational guru. Just silence, and the shame of being left behind. He walked back inside, looked at his hands. If I don't kill my laziness, it's gonna kill every damn dream I ever had. That was the first time his voice didn't shake. He started with the dishes. Not a big thing. But when you've been losing for so long, even a clean sink feels like a war one. He didn't post about it, didn't text anyone. No music, no hype. Just the quiet clinking of broken patterns getting scrubbed away. But that's when it showed up. The voice. Not outside. Inside. This won't last, you always quit. What's the point? It's too late for you. He almost listened. Almost. But then he looked at his little sister's drawing taped on the fridge. A stick figure him, wearing a cape. The words underneath hit harder than any speech ever could. My big brother is my hero. He froze. Not because it was sweet, but because he knew it wasn't true. Not yet, but maybe, just maybe it could be. That day, he didn't scroll. He picked up his old shoes, laced them up, and stepped out the door. No plan, no strategy, just movement. Because sometimes that's all it takes to wake the fighter inside. The sun was brutal, but he kept walking, past the houses, past the excuses, past the version of himself that never left the couch. He ended up at a hardware store. No idea why. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was desperation. He walked in, hands sweating, and asked, "You hiring?" The guy at the counter didn't even look up, just pointed to a sign. No vacancies. That could have been it. Another wall. Another reason to quit. But this time, he didn't turn around. He leaned in and said, "I'll sweep the floors, clean your trucks, work for free the first week. Just give me a shot." The man paused, finally looked at him, really looked. Saw the hunger, the edge, the refusal to be lazy one more damn day. And he nodded. Show up tomorrow, 6 a.m., no excuses. That night he couldn't sleep, not out of nerves, but because for the first time in months he had something to wake up for. But laziness doesn't die quietly. At 5:30 a.m., the voice came back. "It's too early. You need rest. 1 more hour won't hurt." He stared at the ceiling, heart racing, and then he whispered back, "You've stolen enough from me, not today." He made it. 5:59 a.m. Sharp. The parking lot was empty except for a dented red truck and a man already holding a broom. Didn't think. "Huge show," the guy muttered.
Este aqui porque estou rodar etapas país, mas jogo cycle. It's tactic. Okay.
He was cleaning out the version of himself that gave up too easy, and then it happened. Lunchtime. The guy handed him a sandwich and sat down. "You in school?" he asked. He shook his head. "Dropped out. Any trade?" "No." "Criminal record?" "No." "Then what's your excuse?" He didn't have one. Not anymore. Then the man leaned back, eyes sharp. "I see a lot of guys like you. They want a second chance, but they wait for someone to give it to them. You're different." He didn't respond, just took a bite of the sandwich and kept chewing. But inside, he felt something crack open. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was purpose. Or maybe it was the truth finally settling in. Laziness wasn't the enemy. Believing he was worthless, that was the real poison. A week passed, then 2. He never missed a morning, never showed up late, and slowly, something started to shift. People noticed. The guy at the counter, Chuck, started giving him small tasks, inventory, deliveries, fixing shelves. Nothing big. But every job felt like a brick being laid on something solid. Then one Friday afternoon, Chuck tossed him a set of keys. "Open up tomorrow, I trust you." He froze. Trust. That word hadn't been handed to him in a long time. He nodded, pocketed the keys, and walked home with a quiet smile. But laziness doesn't like losing, and that night it came back louder than ever. "You've done enough. Take Saturday off. Sleep in. You earned it." He sat in bed, staring at the keys. Fingers trembling, mind racing. Then his phone buzzed. Unknown number, one line. "You think you can just take over my dad's shop?" His heart dropped. He read it again. It wasn't from Chuck. It was from Chuck's son, the one who vanished a year ago. Jail rumors. Drugs, bad news, and now he was back and he wasn't happy. Next morning he opened the shop at 6 a.m. sharp, eyes heavy. Mind sharper. Chuck wasn't there, just silence, and the weight of those keys in his pocket. He started sweeping, same as always. But every creak of the door made his heart jump. Then around 7:12 it happened. The door slammed open. In walked a tall guy, tattoos up his neck, hoodie half-zipped, eyes full of heat. Chuck's son. He didn't say a word. Just looked him up and down, then tossed a box across the counter. "Didn't think my old man would replace me with charity work?" He wanted to respond, wanted to defend himself, but he stayed quiet, kept sweeping. Because real power doesn't need noise. The son stepped closer. "You think this place is yours now?" He snapped. "You think hard work makes you better than blood?" He still said nothing. That's when the son pulled out his phone. "Cool. Then you won't mind if I show the landlord who's really been opening this place." He had pictures, videos, a fake story already crafted. This guy's breaking in, stealing, pretending to work here. And worst of all, the lease was still in Chuck's son's name. He could shut the shop down in seconds. He looked at the phone, at the lie, at the threat of everything being ripped away just as he was getting it together, and all he said was, "You picked the wrong guy to test, man."